Hi, my name is Stephen Lucas, and today I'll be giving a presentation on how to handle your finances as a student through budgeting. I'm going to be talking about what a budget is, why you should create one, how to create one, how to balance this between work and school, and what you should be doing after school. There's a big problem with students and going into debt. So the way to uh, fight that is through budgeting. So what a budget is? Budget's pretty much a guide that keeps you on a path to reach your financial goals, keeps your finances under control, and shows when you need to make adjustments to your spending, and helps you decide where your money goes instead of wondering where it all went. It helps answer these four important questions. Where does all my money go? Is there a way to spend less? How will I handle unexpected expenses, like replacing a broken cell phone or repairing my car? And how can putting money into savings help me with some of my bigger financial goals? So budgeting helps you achieve academic and financial goals. The first thing you want to do is to write down what those goals are: short term, medium term, and long term. The short term ones help you achieve your academic and financial goals. Medium term is a little bit further into the future, about 1 to 3 years, thinking about an emergency fund, payment on a car, something like that. And a long-term goal is 3 years plus, like a down payment on a house, student loans, paying them off, thinking about retirement, stuff like that. Budgeting will help with all of those. Budgeting makes it easier to plan, save, and control your expenses. So when you set up your budget, you'll be able to see whether your expenses exceed your income, and if so, then you can identify expenses that can be reduced. So if your expenses are more than your income, that needs to be changed. Plus, if you have problems spending under control, a budget will help you manage your spending. It can also help you avoid debt and improve your credit. So when you stick to the budget, you avoid spending more than you earn, and you can avoid or reduce your credit card debt, therefore increasing your credit score. If you do borrow money, being able to pay what you owe on time each month will have a positive impact on your creditworthiness and your financial future. So how do you create one? It's pretty simple. Just does a simple equation: what you earn minus what you spend. That's pretty much the budget. The steps in creating a budget include: so determine your time frame and setting goals. Find a budgeting tool that works for you, whether it be online, on paper. You can ask someone for help. Identify your income and expenses, how much money you're making in, how much money you're spending. Subtract your expenses from your income to see if you have money left over, or if you have a shortfall, and make any needed adjustments. Those adjustments being, like, you don't need to buy luxury items sometimes, you don't need to go to a restaurant, you can eat in more, stuff like that. Budgeting's not a one-time event. You'll need to track your spending over time and update your budget as needed. So from the first year in school to the fourth year, your budget's obviously going to change. You're going to move different places. You're going to go different places. You're going to want different things. You got to all balance that. How do you balance between job and school? So most students eventually in college will get a job, maybe not their first year or second year or whatever, but eventually they'll get a job. If you want to earn more money and potentially reduce your need for student loans, then you could consider working more hours. So if you were to work more hours, that means then you're probably going to have less time for school, which you may not be full-time, which is not good. So I think the best option is to work fewer hours and maximize the benefit of your student loans by taking a heavier class load instead of the minimum requirements. By taking extra classes, you'll be able to graduate earlier, therefore you won't have to pay more in total. So once you leave school, your expenses are going to change, obviously. For example, if you recently graduated, you usually won't be required to begin paying off your student loans for 6 months, but when that payment is added to your monthly expenses, it will have a big impact on your budget. When you leave school, you'll obviously want to update your budget to include student loan payments, as well as your new income and living costs. Leaving school, super exciting and stressful, but you don't want to stop tracking and managing your finances, as it's super important. As you move through changes in your life, you'll need to constantly reevaluate your income and expenses. Your goals are going to change as well. Maybe make a plan to update your goals every 6 or so months. Check on them, see how your short-term, long-term are going to, if you're on track to meet them. You have the power to revise at any time to keep track of your finances and reach your goals. So today I talked about budgeting as a student and how to best manage your finances as a student and pass college.